What's up, guys? TheDevildogGamer here. We're back with more Escape from Tarkov, and lately I've been seeing a lot of people asking me, how do you mod this? What sight do I put on this gun? Help, I can't put a suppressor on my gun. And I fully get it, because there's so much you can do to these guns, but there's no real helpful way of doing it. It's a lot of trial and error, spending money to buy parts and realizing the parts don't fit and stuff like that. And I totally get it. I've done it. The only way I've learned how to mod guns is by buying the wrong parts over and over and over again. So today we're going to do a weapon modification guide. We're going to go through and mod a few of the most important weapons here, because these are the ones that really you should be modding. Don't worry about pistols and stuff like that. If you want to do pistols, there's not a lot of parts for pistols. It's pretty stupid simple to get through. But a lot of the other weapons, they have quite a few parts and stuff like that. So we're going to start off by modding the Saiga 12. Now, there's a few things you need to kind of understand here is ergonomics, okay? The higher the ergonomics, the faster you can aim down sights and the easier it is to use. But as you add parts, some parts will give you more ergonomics and some will take away more. And the plus or minus of that is that some parts will reduce recoil and others will add it. It's here and there, and it's kind of a little, you know, do you want to do this for less recoil or do you want to get more ergonomic, stuff like that. That's why I hip fire a lot, because a lot of the times some of the guns have really, really low ergonomics, and it's just easier to hip fire, to be completely honest. So we're going to start here with the Saiga 12, and we're going to mod it. Now there's a few things you're going to need for it. If you want to do optics, you have two options. You can do the Cobra mount, which is pretty much standard for most Russian weaponry, or you can do the MTU 002L or S, the long top or the short top. The long top gives you the rail farther back on the dust cover, the short is farther forward. So we're gonna go ahead and load it up, and you also need the muzzle brake, the GK02, and you can also do a better grip, which we'll actually go buy one right now because I need to show you where you buy this stuff from. Skier usually has this stuff. They're pretty damn expensive. The short top's a little more cheaper than everything else. And if you look here, it does -12 recoil for this, but -1 ergonomics. So it reduces the recoil by adding weight to the front. Imagine that. The game's actually fucking really good with that. And, you know, vice versa. We can go to the pillid. No, not the pillid. Where is it? Okay. And then we got this muzzle brake right here. -7 to the recoil, -1 to the ergonomics, plus more muzzle velocity. This is actually essential for the Saiga 12. If you use the Saiga 12 without this muzzle brake, you're gonna have a bad time. Use the muzzle brake. It's stupid cheap. It's worth every second of it. But we're gonna go ahead and I think we can grab this one for it. Yeah, I think this grip works for the Saiga. It's all trial and error, guys. I cannot stress that enough. You will buy stuff that's wrong for your gun, but will work for another one. Just because you buy something that doesn't work, keep it. You know, no point wasting money. Okay, so we're actually gonna keep the stats open here for right now. And boom, you can see our recoil actually dropped down a little bit. This is what the base weapon started at, and this is where it's at now. And the muzzle velocity went up a little bit. And then we're gonna add on, boom, look, recoil dropped again. Look at that, imagine that shit. And then we're gonna drop this grip on, and boom, ergonomics is going up, recoil's going down. And we could also do a grip if we wanted to. You can do optics, and you know, you can, hell, this is right here, this is the mount for usually the Cobras. So I could drop the Cobra on there, and hell, I could double it up. I could do Cobra, I could drop another sight inside of it if I wanted to. It's ridiculous. So you have quite a few options when it comes to modding the Saiga. I'm gonna drop that on there. It just killed the ergonomics that we had boosted up, as you see. I mean, these optics all have their own stats. So it's extra weight, so now our ergonomics is kind of down. I actually wanna see, let's get a front grip on here. And any part that you take off that you don't want to use, you can sell back, like just the standard grips and stuff like that. You don't have to keep it. What do I want to do for, let's see, -12 recoil, +1 ergonomics. And that's the UVG Tactical. I don't know, I've never used that one on there. The Tango down, -15 recoil. But if you go up here, these are all -2. No, those are -1.5. And that's -175. And I'm not sure if this one will actually fit onto that rail, but we'll see. You can also add lights. Say you want to add a light to it. You have a few options. The X400 actually has a mount on it. You can mount it straight to the rail system. Or you can do this, you know, ultra fire flashlight, but you will need a 25mm ring to do such. And you know what? I wonder if this stock adapter actually works for it. If not, we need it for other stuff. I'm gonna try something here. I've never fully decked out a Saiga, so this will be interesting. No, it won't work. Okay, so we can only go on the stock. There we go. Okay, so now you'll get to see the difference. Right there, our recoil went down a little bit, but it's almost no difference, really. Almost no difference. And then on the sides, you could add the optic, the lights if you want to. So this is it, pretty much fully decked out, and you can see the stats have gone up and down, and you know, it's not too hard to do. You can read some of the extra stuff on there, on the parts. Like here, it would say like for the AK or something like that, and also compatible with, if you hold it over there, it'll say what weapons. So this is compatible with a lot of stuff, so there it is. But you know, for AK-74, stuff like that. So the Saiga's done. Let's move on here to the OP SKS. And I've already got a little modded out, so we're gonna dump some stuff off of here real quick, and we're gonna start from the beginning. Okay, so the Saiga will pretty much come right as this, okay? That's base Saiga. Now there's a few things you want to do with it. If you want to put a PSO on it and it's only with the OPSKS, you'll put the OPSKS dovetail mount. And basically that adds the ability to put a Cobra on if you want, or a PSO. I usually run the PSO on there, but you need the dovetail and you need the OPSKS. Now if you want to do stocks, you know, actual fucking, not stocks, quad rails. Can't talk today. There's only one, the SKS SOCOM. And this is from Skier. Skier will get you for, I think it's at level 2 or 3 of his updates. Yeah, it's right here. And then from there, he also has the only suppressor for it, which is the SKS 762x39, the hexagon. And that's basically all of your options. You can put on grips onto it, I believe. But you go up here and you can drop the hexagon on, and then here for the quad rail, and you can actually do optics right here if you want. And there's another cool thing which I'll show you that you can do, and this is going to carry over into a lot of different firearms. If we go over here to Peacekeeper, and we go here, the NC Star MPR 45 backup mount. Go ahead and grab that. And also, if you're looking for a super cheap red dot and you don't want to spend a lot of money, there's only one I can tell you can go for. And we're going to go right on down to it over here. The PK06, only 3,800 rubles compared to 17,000, 18,000, 9,000, 14,000, 24,000. You can't beat it. If you're just going to run something cheap and you want an optic, this is really what you want to go for. And I need to sell something real quick to be able to afford it, because I've been dropping cash left and right. I'm getting broke just for a video. All right, so then we'll go ahead and grab that. Let's go back. Oh, I'm all over the place today. Let's go back to the SKS, because right now we have a long-range optic on it. Also, you can get the eye cup for the PSO. Sometimes the PSO comes like this. You can get the PSO eye cup. I think you can buy them. I'm not 100% sure. But right up here, what we're going to do is we're going to drop this MPR 45 on the top of the rail. You can also do it on the bottom, on the side, and it also opens up an extra box. And from there, we can put a red dot. So I can run the red dot, I can roll the gun, run the red dot for close range, and the PSO for long range. And now it's all completely set up. And then, it doesn't look like I have room for a grip really, so it's not going to worry about it too much. But then you can also run flashlights, laser, PEC boxes if that's your thing. I'm not a big PEC box person. But hell, you know, some people are. I don't know what to tell you, but that's how you pretty much mod that sucker out. And it looks pretty cool, and it's worth it. It really is. Modding some of this stuff changes the stats completely, and it's really worth it. All right, let's run to the AS Val. And this one's gonna be very, very easy. And the fact that not really much can be done with it. All right, so we'll take the Cobra off. We got the grip, can't really change that out. Sights, can't really change that out. Muzzle, can't really change that out. Guess what you can do? The Cobra. And you can drop stuff on here. That's basically all you can do with it, is just throw one of the mounts on there, and that's it. Or you can run it with iron sights, which I don't have iron sights for this. And that's basically it. The Val's stupid easy. You shouldn't really mess up too much. I think you can put a PSO on there. I don't know if I have a PSO to buy. I don't think I have an extra PSO. You know what? Let's take a PSO off of here. Oh, you know what? I do have an extra PSO. Let me drop that off and see if I can actually get that PSO on there. There we go, right here. And this is a PSO without an icon. All right, let's get the Val modding. Over maybe? No. No, it doesn't look like it. Oh, yes I can, right there, up on the Ford. So if you want to do a PSO, you can do it up on the Ford mount. So if you want to make it a VSS Mark II, sure, there you go. You got yourself an extra VSS. Can't complain about it. All right, SKS, the normal SKS, same thing, except you can't do the dovetail mount for the SKS or the Cobra. You can only drop optics up on the Ford rail. Same suppressor works. Everything else works the same way, but you can only do the quad rail on it. You can't do any rear optics with the Cobra or anything like that. That's just based off the stock design, so it's pretty simple. Just kind of roll it the same way. Off to the AK. Now here we have some fun stuff. We're gonna take a lot of this off, and I'm gonna kind of show you through stuff. Let's go ahead and leave that there. That. All right, so now we just have a basic stock AK at this point. Now there's a few ways you can roll optics. Up here, if you grab the TT 10,000, that is a dust cover rail system, and that allows you to add optics to the top, pretty much anything you want at that point. That is found from Skier. It is one of the options if you want to roll optics. The other one is your handguard. You can get the RS47, the CAA, which is a quad rail, and you can run an optic on top of there if you want. You can do grips, which as you can see, everything's changing stat-wise as I'm doing it, and you can run, you know, basically whatever you want at that point. That's another way of doing it. Let me see if I can find the other two ways of throwing optics on here. You can do your Cobra, of course. The Cobra is always available to drop on there. There is another option if I can find it. Not that one. Yes, this is the quad rail, the top rail system right here for the AK. It's pretty damn expensive, so keep that in mind. There is one that runs a rail system that runs off the front sight or the rear sight post, but I don't see it, and I haven't seen it in the traders. And I do believe it doesn't show up in the oh, you know what? Like I said, it's all trial and error. I think the B18 mount is one of the ones that will work. And I don't have the money, fuck's sakes. Well, I do, I just don't feel like pulling it out of my bag right now. I'm gonna have to. All right, let me go to my bag real quick, and we will drop on into this. See, I'm running low. I need to start stockpiling money again. Actually, I did want to grab that. Okay. And I think Proper might have it. Maybe. Sometimes. Oh, there is another option that I also need to get. Yeah, the TGPA is also another suppressor that you can throw on the AK-74. And then here you have the Cobra with the mount for it. So if you want a quick little optic, and it's only about 9,000, it's stupid easy. You want to throw an optic on the AK, just get this whole Cobra set up. 9,000, done. You get the mount, it goes on top of it. Pretty simple. And you can also trade for a Cobra if you want. It's only one of the MR133 shotguns. Yeah, it's not over here. So Peacekeeper might be the only way. If it's not, then it's a pickup, which I really can't tell you about pickups because I don't know the name of them. Oh, also, let's do this. And this real quick. That adds on to our stuff. We got the backup mounts. Yep. Well, that sucks. Okay, so there is another way to throw an optic on there's actually two, and I need to go back because there's another one real quick. It's all trial and error. Dude, you will buy so much needless shit just trying to mod these guns that it's not even funny. You will literally buy a crap ton of stuff that you do not need. I promise you. Alright, so let's get back to this AK. Okay, another way to also get optics on here is to buy the B33 dust cover. And that gives you a rail system on the top. It's actually pretty cool, and I like it. I think I might keep it on there. And then from here, you can throw optics on it. Now, the Bravo 4, you unlock at Mastery for Peacekeeper. It is a magnified optic, but on top, you can also throw a red dot. But you have to be careful because sometimes it glitches out and it changes the magnification of the optic. Now, for the stock, you can do a few things. The ME4 will allow you to drop the Basalt stock on here, or you can do a Colt buffer tube and then put an MOE stock on there if you want. And then you need the butt plate, which we'll put on there. Also, you can throw a Cobra on there if you want to do a Cobra. You want to add up onto stuff and things from there. The other way is there is that rear sight post mount, but I haven't seen it in a while. I can't find it in the freaking inventory. You can also do the TGP suppressor, the DTK1 muzzle brake, or the hexagon suppressor. All right, so we're gonna go back to the handguards because there's two options here. We have the MOEAK. This doesn't allow you to put any sort of thing on the rail system, but you can put an angled grip, which we don't have, and I'm gonna go grab it real quick because I actually wanna keep it on there. Let me see if I can find it right here. It's expensive, but -2 recoil, but if you go over here, the AFG, -175, and I'm actually gonna buy an AFG too because I keep wanting to put stuff on my guns and I don't have it, so the more I have, the better. We'll drop it right on over here. Boom. And you see the recoil has just significantly dropped. Just insanely dropped. It's just gone at that point. The only problem with using these is you can't put the backup sights. So if you're running a longer range like this, you're gonna have to, or higher magnification, you're gonna have to use the top section. But the AK is actually pretty easy. And then if you do the MOEs, you need to get the butt pad. And the butt pad is right here. And it's kind of important. I mean, if you half-ass a weapon modification, you're spending money that you're basically for no fucking reason at this point. And you're losing extra stats. I mean, boom, recoil down. Also, the AK is the only one that you can change out the bolt charging handle. I don't know why, but I like it. I mean, this is completely decked out at this point. It's not hard, you just gotta read what you're doing. Okay. Oh, so much more to do. Alright, now onto the M4s, because this, you know, M4s are the Honda Civics of guns, and you can put whatever the fuck you want on them. This gets a lot more crazier, and you can do a lot of shit on here. The suppressors. A lot of people ask me all the time about suppressors. How the fuck do you put on a suppressor? Well, to put the NT4 on, you need the KAC QDC, the quick detachment compensator, and that's from Peacekeeper. You can get that on there. The normal A2 birdcage will not work, so you need to get that, and then you can throw the NT4 on there. There are barrel lengths. You have the 370 millimeter and the 260 millimeter, but there are different quad rails for it. The KAC RS is the shorter one. There is a longer one, but you need the different gas block for it, and you actually can't buy the gas block. You can find it sometimes. I found it here and there, which doesn't have the rail on there, and then you can put the longer quad rail on there. I have no idea where this gas block is. Honestly, can't tell you. But then you can throw pretty much any sort of... Ooh, the muzzle velocity went down on that. That's kind of interesting. You can put any grip on there if you want. I don't know which one's better for recoil, it seems like. Quad rail, you can throw the quad rail on there. You have mounts to throw backup sights, or, you know, extra sights on there. There's just so much you can really do with the M4. It's insane. You know, it already comes with a flat top, so you can just drop optics right up on there. The different grips, and then stocks. There are a ton of options with stocks. You can throw the M7 PDW on there. You can go over here, as long as you have a buffer tube, which is somewhere over there. This is actually the rail I was talking about, the 9.5, no. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna buy that just for experimental purposes. Where is it? Where is it? I don't see the buffer tube. No, buffer is over here in skier. Maybe? Or I just, yep. Colt buffer, and then you can start throwing different stocks on there. You can get the MOE if you want. If you want mag pull, that's done. You can also go over here, and you can get the UBR, which actually, I think they have some pretty good stats on them. The 38 recoil is pretty good. Plus, you know, you get 30 here with the M7. But this doesn't need a buffer tube, this does. And then here, you can also get these Tapco saw grips and put them on your M4 if you want. Which we will actually do. Oh wow, I can't do it. Pretty sure. No, those are for the AK, never mind. I stand corrected. And then you can do the buffer tube, the different stocks from there. And then also, boom, you can put the 9.5 on there. Believe it or not, that actually worked with the gas block, so holy fucking shit. You know, that didn't work last patch for me, so that must be something new, because this gas block usually is in the way of these longer quad rails. So that's actually really surprising. And you can just throw grips on there, done ski. So there's plenty of stuff you can do with it. I mean, the M4 is super, super, super customizable. And I can just switch that over. And then I can take off the front sight post if I want. See, here's the A2 bird cage. Can't throw a suppressor on there with that. You can do the monster, but that's only in press packs. So if you kill somebody with the monster suppressor, keep it. Don't fucking use it. I'm serious. Those things are rare. You can just do so much stuff with the M4. It's just insane. And it's just such a beast gun, really. It's really a beastly gun. Okay, so on to the next things. Let's go over here to the 133. There are a few things you can do with the 133. And let's go over here to the trader and I will show you. You can get a bunch of different barrels. You can also get more tubes. So I can go from 6 shells to 8 shells. Let's actually grab the 8 shell one. There. Pistol grips. So say I want to take the stock off and I want to put a pistol grip on there. That's also done. I can do that. Plastic force stock with mount, plastic pump with mounts. And there is one more thing I can do. Right here. And right here. This is the sprut mount. And yes, that all should be good right there. So we can go back over here. Oh, nope. Go to the pump. And we can change out the magazine for a larger one. Boom. As you can see, it's a short barrel now with a huge long magazine. And then we can put the sprut mount on here, which is a little quad mount. And you can drop flashlights, you know, things like that. Where's the pump one? Right here. And I can change to the plastic one with more. I mean, you could add a bunch of flashlights. These can all be flashlights. Actually, let's fucking do that. Let's go buy an ass ton of flashlights real quick. Okay, let's buy 5. Do I have the money for it? Hell yeah, I do. So we'll go back on over to here. Go to this pump. Modding. Flashlights. 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 Flashlight. drop a grip on there while I'm at it. And I think I got a room for one more flashlight. No, I think I'm out of flashlights at this point. But you can drop an absolute ass ton of things on here. And you can go pistol grip if you want, instead of the stock. Which also, the pistol grip does add a spot for an optic. Or you can drop the SPRM on there and put your own optic if you want. So say you want to run a long range thing like that. You have those options. You really, really do. There is a ton you can do with MR133. The MR153, I usually run completely alone, but you can put an optic mount on there. You can also run a pistol grip. You can change the barrel. You can change the magazine. That's about it. I mean, you can do the sprint mount if you want on there too, but honestly, don't really upgrade your shotguns. It's really a pointless endeavor. Okay, now on to the AK-74U, and we are running out of space here. The AK-74U is kind of a pain in the ass, and the fact that you need a B11, a B18, and my dog is freaking out. Okay, you can get the B12. You can still do the DTK muzzle brake, and you can also throw. Oh, and I also forgot to mention, you can get 12 gauge chokes for the shotguns, which help a little bit. You know, I might actually throw that on there on one. Oh, I don't have the money. Well, I can sell this and this. Now I got the money. See? So the stuff you take off, you can just sell back and make some money. Quick and easy. We'll get the choke on there. And not the TGP. We will grab, I don't know if I can buy it or trade it. I think it's only, this is the also the sight shade for the Cobra if you want to get that. I don't really suggest it. It's not a big deal. Right here. You can get, this is the muzzle brake for the AK-74U. You can also throw the AK-74 muzzle brake on it if you want. Yeah, this is the suppressor for the AK-74U. You have to trade for it. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but whatever. It's no big deal. All right, so let's hop on over and start customizing this bastard. Now, the 74U has a ton of recoil. I highly suggest to not really upgrade it too much. If you like them, go for it. We can throw that grip on there. What did that grip actually change? Not much of anything. Probably just the ergonomics on it. From there. Okay, so right here we're gonna go for a B11. Now the B11 adds a rail to the bottom and then on the sides, but it's this one right here. If you throw a B12 on there, it adds a top rail. And on top of the top rail, you can throw optics, which I have optics, but it won't let me throw on because it just wants to do the side one from there. I think you can also throw a grip on there, but you can also do this if you want. Where's it at? I know I just bought the fucker. Do I have a B18 in here? I know I have a B18 in here. I bought it. No, I didn't buy it, did I? No. Okay, so we're gonna go back to skier real quick. I thought I bought one. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was wrong. Grab that extra B12 off of there. Okay, now let's go back and buy a B18. I just don't, I've burned through a lot of my money. I think I've burned through like 150K so far. And that wasn't including buying the guns for this, because a lot of these I don't use. Alright, so let's go back. Yep, B18 actually lets you add a red dot to the rear sight post. So if you don't want to go this whole route with the quad rail and stuff like that, getting the B12, the B11, you can just roll a B18 if you want. You can also change out muzzle brakes to whatever the hell you want. There are a bunch of different, oh, you can put the hexagon on here. Totally forgot about that. So you can get the hexagon suppressor with the PBS if you want. You can do the DK12 or the DK1, or you can do just straight up normal muzzle brake. I'm gonna throw the DK on there. There's quite a few little options here and there, and you can add flashlights, peck boxes if you want, you know, red dots, doesn't matter. You can do a lot of stuff with the AK-74U, but don't upgrade it too much. It's not a high-end gun. It's kind of a gun that you use to take out in the raids. All right, so let's run here to the SV98. The SV98 is kind of a pain in the butt because you really can't do too much with it. You can add different optics if you want. I think you can actually add, you know, like stuff like this. You can throw the Spectre on there if you want. You can throw a bunch of different things. But other than that, it's not really customizable other than optics and things like that. But I think you can add stuff like that, and it changes around the profile. And hell, I can even throw a mount up there if I want. So you can change around the SV98 just a tad bit here and there. Actually, I wanted to see what scope that had. That's actually a better scope than the rest. No, that's the same crappy scope. I hate this scope so freaking much. It's not even funny. The optics on it are way too much. VSS, same as the Val. Wow, that's jacked up. Pretty much same as the Val. You can throw a Cobra on there if you want, or just the PSO. Not much other than that. You can do flashlights with different things. MP5. There are a few things you can do. There is a mount for it that you can get, which I'll show you on this one because I'm not going to buy it. Peacekeeper sells the optic rail for it, which is right here. This is the optic mount for it. And then if you want to use an aim point, say you want to throw an aim point on there, you need the AMM base for it. Then you can just throw a T1 on there, but then you have the front sight post you have to worry about. Don't be that guy that throws, you know, a red dot on with rear and front sights. Don't be that guy. So you can use the riser to get above that and then throw a T1 on there. That's basically it. You can change out the stocks for the A2 or the A3 if you want on these. You can't take an MP5 and then take it to an SD6. You need to change out the receivers. The receivers are where it is. If you go over here to Peacekeeper, you will see this is an SD6 receiver, and this is just an A2 receiver. So you can't just drop a suppressor on there. You have to have the base model. But you can build one for pretty cheap if you want. They do have the 3-lug for the MP5, but they don't have a 3-lug suppressor. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. But like I said, you can go from the fixed stock to the A2 to the A3 if you want. I said A4, my bad. If you want. So if that's what you want, go for it. MP5s are expensive. You don't really need to deck them out too much. Okay, let's go back to here. The MPX. The MPX is the same way. You need to either have the suppressed variant or the non-suppressed. Also, big no-no, if you're gonna throw a red dot on here, you can also throw whatever kind of stock you want on here. I think you can put a Troy on the back here, an M7. I think you can. Yeah, you can throw an M7 on the back here if you really, really want. Oh, and of course, it's not gonna let me do it because I didn't examine it, whatever. If you want to throw a red dot on here, take the front and rear sights off. Please, for the love of God, don't be that guy that's sitting there aiming, you know, aiming in, and then your rear sight's right there in your reticle and your front sight is too. Don't be that guy. MPX, not too customizable, but you can customize it. You can put a lot of shit on there. Pretty much this game is totally open-ended when it comes to modding, but make sure you read what works for what, and if you buy something that doesn't work for a gun, keep it, because it might work for another gun you get eventually. But remember, ergonomics are important, lower recoil is important. If you deck out your gun too much, sometimes you fuck it up. If you deck it out too little, it won't perform as much as something as simple as changing out to a front grip and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. There's just so much open-endedness to all this. It's a lot of fun. You can spend hours customizing guns, and I've done it before too, and it's part of the joy of this game. Anyways, boys, you want to see some more Escape from Tarkov? Let me know in the comments below. Talk to you guys later. Peace.